Hello, students. Today we will go through a beautiful sonnet composed by romantic poet John Keats. Now, what is a sonnet? Sonnet is a 14-line composition, a poem. If you look at the poem, you can find it is divided in two stanzas. The first stanza has 8 lines and the second stanza is of 6 lines. In English literature, this combination of 8 lines is known as octave and the second half stanza is a sestet. And this particular sonnet is known as Petrarchian sonnet. There are different kinds of sonnets like English sonnet, Italian sonnet. Okay, so this is Petrarchian sonnet. Okay, this is quite different from the English and the other sonnets, but all the sonnets have a 14 lines. You have to keep these words in your mind. Okay, now if you look at the sonnet carefully, so we can find the rhyming scheme A B B A B B A, and in second stanza you will find the rhyming scheme C D E and again C D E. This is gonna be repeated. So there are two symbols. One is grasshopper and the other is cricket. The grasshopper symbolizes the summer and the cricket symbolizes the winter. Now, this poem gives us a very beautiful message. What is the message? Actually, the poet wishes to impart that, like the poetry of the earth, which never dies, there is no matter how harsh our life is, how much hardships we are finding in our day to day life, but hope always sustains in our life. Here, the grasshopper and the cricket have been shown to survive in harsh, extreme condition. Now, if we notice the mood of the poem carefully, then we will find that the poet was in joyous mood. He was in happy and cheerful mood. Here, the poem seeks to celebrate the calls of the grasshopper and the cricket. In short, the voice of nature herself. The setting is almost luxurious, as in it celebrates all phases of nature. Students, we will go through the poem line by line and try to understand the inner idea that was intended by John Keats. So the opening stanza is known as octaves. The poetry of earth is never dead. When all the birds are faint with the hot sun and hide in cooling trees, a voice will run from hedge to hedge about the new mown mead. That is the grasshoppers. He takes the lead. In summer luxury, he has never done with his delights, for when tired out with fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed. So, the summary of the octave is the poem is not separated into stanzas, it is separated into an octave and a sestet. The first part of the poem, the octave, celebrates the earth in all its forms. It says that the poetry of earth is never dead. The earth provided poetry in the form of the songs of the birds or the calls of the beasts. However, when the summer sun is too hot and strong, the birds find it difficult to keep up their routine. They find shelter from the scorching heat in trees that provide ample shade and hence are cooling. But the grasshopper does not cease its song. Its voice runs throughout the freshly mown meadows untiringly. Even in the sultry summer days, he never stops his chants. The grasshopper does not feel faint under the sun. For him, even the summer is a time for joy. Hence, when he has had his fill of fun, he finds comfort under some weeds or long grass stalks. Now, the sestet portion. The poetry of earth is ceasing never on a lone winter evening when the frost has wrought a silence from the stove. There shrills the cricket's song in warmth increasing ever and seems to one in drowsiness half lost. The grasshoppers among some grassy hill sestet. The sestet begins with the earlier declaration that the poetry of earth is forever. It is never ending. During the cold, harsh winters, when one is numbed by the cold, only one voice is heard that calls out to one in drowsy evenings by the fire, and that is the cricket. The poet tells us that during the winters, instead of growing quite of the cold, the cricket finds a corner in some kitchen near a stove and belts out its song. The warmth coming from the stove mingles with the warm tones of the cricket who tries to keep one entertained. This song perhaps reminds one who is half asleep that the grasshopper is probably out on some grassy hill singing its heart out. Now, what is the central idea? The central idea of the poem is tenacity of the grasshopper and the cricket to provide us entertainment and joy to us through their respective songs. Their songs are the poetry on earth, poetry that never ceases to be, even during extreme circumstances. Now, the theme of the poem. Nature is the major theme in this sonnet. Nature is seen as a revered figure throughout this poem. It is not difficult to trace the influence the natural world has on Keats as one reads this poem. The first line begins with a declaration that the poetry of earth is never dead. This declaration is followed by Keats trying to explain why not. In the course of 14 lines, Keats alludes to birds, the sun, trees, hedges, meadows, frost, and grassy hills. All of the aforementioned are popular motifs of a nature poem. It doesn't end here. He alludes to some of those motifs along with their inherent qualities or their purposes. For example, he alludes to the heat of the sun, the cool shade provided by the trees, or the pleasantness of a certain area of grass or weed. Last but not the least, Keats uses the grasshopper and the cricket as the symbols of summer and winter, respectively. Now, the seasons. Summer and winter are seen as two parallel pairs who sustain the nature world. Keats positively said that side by side they are of two parameters against which all of the cycles of the natural world has to be tested. After this putting nature through the test, Keats concurs that grasshopper and the cricket are the ones that can overcome all strife, including the extreme temperatures. Hope. Both the grasshopper and the cricket are symbols of hope. They continue in their daily rituals even when the other creatures cannot. They provide everyone with the hope that no matter how hard the situation is, there is always a way to overcome them. The grasshopper takes rest in some pleasant weed to freshen itself so that it can provide the poetry of earth for the entire natural world to listen. The cricket finds its voice even in the midst of the frost when the whole of creation finds itself silenced. Thus, hope is what constitutes the poetry of the earth. Now, the tenacity. The grasshopper and the cricket also symbolize tenacity. In spite of extreme temperatures, they refuse to give up. They carry on their jobs as if the summer heat or the winter frost cannot stop their joy. Even when the birds faint due to the heat, or all the creatures retire to their nest or shelter to escape the cold, the grasshopper and the cricket take it upon themselves to keep the poetry of earth alive. Thus, this poem talks of tenacity and dedication to pursue one's passion. Beauty is perhaps one of the most used themes in Keats' poetry. He was an ardent believer of beauty in its classical sense. More often than not, Keats used this beauty of language to express the beauty of nature. In this poem, the poet expresses the beauty of nature through its various phases. He finds beauty in the harsh as well as the mellow side of nature. He finds beauty in both the hot summer sun and the cool shade provided by the trees. Similarly, the winter has its own beauty. As the frost spins a silence upon the earth, he also talks of the warmth in the voice of the cricket that compensates the numbness of the cold. The beauty of nature lies in its balance. So, tone of the poem. The tone of the poem is celebratory. Keats uses his language skills to perpetuate the romantic ideals in this poem. The poem reeks of the romantic touch of grandeur, and it almost reads like an ode on the natural language of the earth. So, what is the conclusion? The poem is then a message close to Keats' heart. He believed in the immortality of poetry, beauty, and endurance of life. Keats weds together all these components in this sonnet as an inspiration to his readers and perhaps to future poets like him.